At the edge of the barren Utah Mesa, the Skinwalker Ranch team descended once again into a mystery that defied every law of physics and every assumption of science. The experiment began, as it always did, drills cutting deep into the earth, radar balloons ascending into the sky, and sensors capturing strange signals that seemed to come from nowhere. Yet this time, the events that unfolded would take the team to the brink of something much larger, a revelation that blended science fiction with reality. The team started the episode by revisiting the bubble anomaly, an invisible sphere of energy centered at the triangle with a radius of nearly 2,000 feet. Within this invisible dome, electromagnetic readings had spiked to levels 10,000 times higher than normal environmental radiation. Jeremiah Pate, a young aerospace scientist from Lunasoon, returned with new radar data collected from a high-altitude balloon experiment in 2022. His radar scans had recorded colossal waves of electromagnetic energy suspended thousands of feet above the ranch. The readings, bright purple on the radar imagery, indicated concentrations of power on a gigawatt scale, something usually produced only by lightning nuclear bursts or advanced propulsion systems. No natural cause could explain it. When the team drilled deeper into the mesa, they struck layers of rock so hard that the tungsten carbide drill teeth wore out after only a few inches. The bits showed no sign of heating, no friction burns, no melting, almost as if the material beneath the mesa absorbed the heat entirely. This impossibility puzzled everyone. The drillers pulled up shards of strange, dark, metallic material that stuck to magnets and seemed layered like space-grade composites. Eric Bard and Travis Taylor, the team's scientists, compared them to heat shield tiles used on the space shuttle. Each fragment was unlike any terrestrial rock. What kind of material could exist hundreds of feet inside a natural sandstone mesa? As they dug deeper, the electromagnetic interference intensified. GPS beacons malfunctioned, data corrupted, and drones lost control. Every time they drilled or flew near the triangle, their equipment seemed to react to an unseen force. Jeremiah's new experiment using Lunasoon's DART radar system suspended from a 12,000-foot balloon aimed to map the bubble from above and below. The radar emitted 18 megahertz pulses designed to pierce both air and ground. But once the system entered the bubble, the signals vanished completely, as if they were absorbed by a force field. Communication between helicopters and the command center cut out. Even the LiDAR scans went black when aircraft crossed the bubble's edge. The anomaly didn't just block signals, it appeared to selectively erase data in real time. Then, without warning, the DART radar began overheating its internal temperature, soaring to 170 degrees Celsius. The payload shut itself down to avoid burning out. When they rebooted the system, the same thing happened again. It was as though the air itself between 3,000 and 5,000 feet above the triangle was radiating invisible energy strong enough to fry electronics. The team aborted the test, baffled and uneasy. Later, when the data was recovered, Jeremiah revealed that his radar had captured a colossal energy hotspot right above the triangle and another just south across the creek, precisely where they had recorded GPS disruptions and UAP sightings before. Subsurface scans also showed voids beneath the mesa, tunnel-like structures stretching from the triangle into the mountain. Could the bubble's energy field be connected to whatever was buried inside? At the same time, strange things began happening on the ground. A civilian plane flew low over the ranch with its transponder switched off, circling the drilling site for several minutes before vanishing. The team suspected espionage. Perhaps someone was monitoring their experiments. Shortly afterward, Thomas Winterton discovered that his trailer surveillance cameras had been hacked. The system, which wasn't even connected to the internet, had been accessed remotely. Files were copied, users logged out, and the feed rerouted to an unknown location. Whoever did it had physically overridden the security system, possibly using small aerial devices dropped from a plane, the same kind of covert tech used in classified surveillance. Then came the radiation signs. Biologist Ben Woodruff, who had installed wildlife cameras around the ranch, showed footage of elk with strange burn-like white patches across their faces. The marks were unlike any known disease. They resembled thermal or radiation burns. Earlier seasons had already documented a calf spinning uncontrollably near the triangle, later diagnosed with microwave exposure. Now the same region seemed to be affecting wildlife. Ben analyzed plant samples from the nearby field and found DNA damage consistent with radiation exposure. The central strip of vegetation showed stunted growth bordered by normal green areas, a perfectly defined path of radiation. It was unnatural, almost surgical, as if something intelligent had directed the energy beam. Meanwhile, the drilling team reached 470 feet and hit something again, a perfectly smooth surface that the bit couldn't penetrate. The beacon signal spread wildly across frequencies, disrupting all readings. When they extracted the spoils, archaeologist Chris Roberts found pieces of manufactured ceramic. The fragments were beveled, cross-hatched, and partially glazed, clearly engineered. The material resembled the thermal tiles used to shield spacecraft from re-entry heat. It was radiation-resistant, heat-absorbing, and almost indestructible. The realization hit them hard. Something artificial lay buried inside the mesa. Metal ceramics, radiation, and electromagnetic anomalies all converging in the same space. Even more disturbing video analysis from Eric Bard's high-speed cameras showed unidentified aerial phenomena streaking above the ranch during the radar flights. Fast-moving silver orbs that zipped past helicopters at supersonic speeds with no contrails or sound. One UAP appeared to dart directly toward the triangle and vanish into the mesa itself. Could it have entered through a portal, or was it connected to the buried structure? By the final moments, the evidence had become overwhelming. The mesa was not just a geological feature, it was a vault, possibly containing engineered materials of unknown origin. The air above the triangle radiated energy levels beyond human technology. The plants and animals nearby showed signs of radiation exposure. The team had been hacked, spied on, and interfered with. Whether the source was extraterrestrial, interdimensional, or a remnant of secret human technology, one fact was undeniable: something intelligent and powerful was operating beneath and above Skinwalker Ranch.